All right, now we're going to take Graphical Modeler one step forward to do our whole analysis all at once. We're going to start by merging our layers. We're then going to clip them by a mask. We're then going to run raster calculator to calculate NDVI. And finally, we're going to run the reclassified by table to spit out a reclassified image based on NAIP NDVI. All right, so here we go. We've got our clipped image here as sort of a demo of the first phase of the tool. So let's open up our graphical modeler again. We can open up our model from Merge Tiles 2 if we've accidentally closed it. So we've got our 4 input tiles. We merge, we clip, and there's a clipped output. I'm going to get rid of the clipped output because this is no longer the end of my model. I'm going to close that. I'm going to add raster calculator. There we are. Old friend. That's where things get a little bit different. So you'll notice that the bands don't show up here. We have to kind of modify the bands by hand within the expression. We'll use the NDVI tool, but we're going to have to go in and modify some of the values afterwards. I'm going to click Add, and I'm going to assign the clipped values to both of them. Now what you're going to see here is we have our clipped mask modeler, the super long derived raster layer, and there's an @1 saying @band1. Now we know that NDVI is calculated by near infrared minus red divided by near infrared plus red, or in this case, band 4 minus band 1 divided by band 4 plus band 1. So I'm just going to come in and change this from a 1 to a 4. My reference layer, I'm going to set to a clipped layer. And then we're just going to do an interstitial step here so we can see the results of this. My output will be NDVI. We'll call it NDVI test. All right, now I'm going to click play. Just like before, I'm going to set my inputs to my tiles. I'm going to save this as merge clip NDVI and click run. Let's see what happens here. All right, look at that. We've got an NDVI layer. Let's go to layer styling. We'll assign single band pseudo color. Looks pretty much like NDVI. So it did that whole thing starting from our tiles here. It merged them, clipped them, and then ran NDVI with raster calculator. All right, awesome. So let's take it to the next step. Let's go back to our graphical modeler. I'm going to delete this piece. And now I'm going to add in my reclassify by table. So my raster layer input is going to be the output from raster calculator. And I can build this classification table just like we did in class. All right, we'll click OK. And then our reclassified raster, this is our reclassified output. So we're using the outputs from raster calculator, our NDVI. We're using, there's only one band, so it's band 1. We've built our classification table, and then this is going to be the final piece of our model. If your model starts getting unruly and too big, clicking this little button up here allows you to zoom full so you can see the whole model all in one screenshot. I'm going to save the model. Sometimes it makes you resave it. I'm going to save this as merge clip DVI and reclass. Okay, now I'm going to press play. And 1, tile 1, tile 2, tile 3, tile 4, and I'll save this as merge clip. Click run. And this is just going to do all that work for me. And I'll close. So now I've got my classified image here. classify, give it some spectral land cover. So you can see we did all of that just with one click of a button. You can imagine that if you're repeating this process for multiple years, think how useful it would be just to build a model and then input your tiles, it merges, it clips, it NDVIs, and then it reclassifies for you all on the fly in one step. Also, if you realize that you've made a mistake somewhere along the process, you don't have to do all those steps again. You just go into your algorithm and just change it around a little bit. So for example, if I wanted to change my table values, I'd just come in here and change the values right in here. If I wanted to switch this to minus 0.15, I'd just do that. I'd save my model, and then I'd be able to run it again. All right, so hopefully this is a useful tutorial on Model Builder. I'm not expecting you to use this for every single assignment, but for some of you, it may be a really helpful tool for automating your process. Also really helpful for keeping track of more complex processes. All right, I'll see you in class on Wednesday.